Hello, good evening, and welcome back. And good news! Here was an article from the Daily Mail updated about 15 minutes ago. Millionaire who filmed grossly offensive footage of Grenfell Tower effigy being burned is cleared of sharing it online after appalling CPS failed to mention there was a second video taken on the same night. And this you might remember from last year, bonfire night. They went, oh, this is cool, here's an effigy, Grenfell Tower, and here are some card cutouts of people. They were also being burned. That was shared around, and then proceedings were brought against him because of the hate. And although it's good that he has now been cleared, the reasoning for it is still suspect, and it shows that we're clearly not in a free country. So let's read on. Paul Bissetti from South Norwood, South East London, has been cleared today. So you shouldn't mention his name in the first place, because now you've just named someone who hasn't committed a crime. And it gets worse because they actually show where he lives. An innocent man. They've doxed him completely. Yeah. It emerged there was a second recording of Grenfell Tower effigy being burned. Magistrates said that it was possible Mr. Bissetti's recording wasn't the one online. She slammed the CPS, the Crown Prosecuting Service, and said the late revelation of the evidence was appalling. So, let's read on. A millionaire property tycoon accused of showing footage of his friends burning a cardboard effigy of Grenfell Tower has been found not guilty by a judge after it emerged that vital evidence had not been shared with his defence team. So it wasn't his fault, it was by someone called Peter Hancock. Married father of two, Paul Bissetti, 47, right? So he has children, and you're showing where he lives. Or hopefully he's moved since then, and you're saying who he is. Yeah, that's putting his life at risk as far as I'm concerned. 47 from South Norwood, South East London, was cleared at Westminster Magistrates Court today of sharing the grossly offensive video online. Unless you're saying he's now a public figure, that he had no intention of doing so. Why, you ask? Because, as we read on, it mentions how what he did was he sent a video in a private WhatsApp group, and then it was somebody else who sent it on to a dance group and then made it publicly online, so it wasn't him responsible. But it gets better, and this defense lawyer is amazing as far as I'm concerned. And the defense they've got, you might think, that's a bit flimsy, but it's enough. It's enough. Reasonable doubt and all that. So, he said he's denied the charge, and his stop-start trial has been ongoing since May. Since May he's gone through it. He's going to cover the legal costs. Yeah, let's not discuss that. So it was discovered today that another man, Paul Hancock, had told officers that he posted a video of the incident to a dance group. But this information was not passed on to Mr. Bissetti's defence until the end of the trial. After the revelation, Chief Magistrate Arbuthnot said, "I'm just appalled at the disclosure in this case. I'm going to want to know more about how on earth disclosure has got to this stage. It's highly unsatisfactory and appalling." And here we have the images. She praised Mr. Bissetti's defence barrister, Mark Summers, QC, for spotting a police interview transcript of Mr. Hancock, admitting to also sharing the bonfire video had not been disclosed to the defence. Well, exactly. And they raised some brilliant points here as well. So they're saying, had Mr. Summers raised an abusive process, that too may have succeeded. It seems on the face of it, however, the very latest this morning warning bells should have been ringing. It's Mr. Summers keeping his wits about him who prevented potentially a miscarriage of justice. So yes, on the disclosure process, she said, and this is very important, once someone has been charged with an offence, there is a tendency to take the foot off the pedal and not review the case much afterwards, which again is why false accusations are so lethal. Mark Summers said, "If I seem angry, that's because I am. Firstly, somebody called Peter Hancock said in an interview that he had videoed the bonfire and he had posted it to the dance group. It's now not even clear to us that the video that found its way onto YouTube and national media is Mr. Bissetti's video, and with respect, we don't see how we can even be sure about that." Right. So he made a video, sent it to a private group, and it could be somebody else made a video, sent it to a separate group, and then that got published. So it wasn't his at all. He put a video of the bonfire to the group, but now it seems somebody else did. Mr. Hancock also told police that the figures in the windows were his friends. Yes, were his friends. We have very serious doubts about the integrity of this prosecution. Yes, so all six of them went to the police station to clear this up voluntarily without solicitors. Fantastic. And this is amazing, because the prosecution argued that it was racist in showing black and brown characters, and that's the crux of the issue. And I'll show why. Because Mr. Bissetti and his friend Clifford Smith, who hosted the party, rejected the suggestion, insisting the figures were of the two men and their friends, and that the whole incident poked fun at themselves. Yes, the issue here is that it's racist. That's the problem here. And a figure dressed in black and referred to in a comment of the footage as Little Ninja was a joke about Mr. Smith's son, who did martial arts as a child, both he and Mr. Bissetti said. rejecting a prosecution argument that the figure was a Muslim woman wearing a niqab and was intended to mock Islamic dress. And that sounds flimsy, but by God, that's amazing. And there was actually evidence for this. They said the reason they didn't say it at the time was because they were nervous and anxious and, not sure what to say. And here is the photo of the house. The effigy is believed to have been burned at a party behind this home in South Norwood. So it might not even be the right place. And they're saying, yes, here it is. Find it. Do whatever you will. It's like, yeah, that's really not necessary for the story. And if you want journalist integrity, that goes against journalist ethics. Surely. So, it gets better because he says that there were other people independently who were at the party who spoke to the police and explained that separately, that yes, it was just the friends and the little ninja was not someone in any cab, it was just the son. That's what they said. So Miss Arbuthnot again added she could not be sure the figures on the tower were not the defendant and his friends burning on the bonfire, which she added was in colossal bad taste. Yeah. It says, for Mr. Bisetti, he said he sent it to 2 WhatsApp groups totaling around 20 people, insisting he had intended the footage to go no further than the groups. He told the court it was funny, everyone knew it was funny. Apparently, he had used terms including, here comes demonetization, Paki and nigger in WhatsApp chats and forwarded racist content the court heard, but said he was not a racist. Well, racist content, I'm presuming jokes, yeah. You're going to go through all his jokes? What? You say anything. He made a joke about, what, mother-in-law jokes? So now he's against mother-in-laws? No, it's just this protected class again. Again, racially superior. Jesus Christ. But, yeah, but in this case, again, from Arbuthnot rather. But in this case, the Crown have not discharged the burden on them. I cannot be sure the video circulated on by the Crown is the one by the defendant. The thoroughly offensive racist remarks and images sent by the defendant and others on a regular basis cannot fill the holes in the Crown's case. A charge of causing footage of a menacing character to be uploaded on YouTube had earlier been dismissed. Yes, so thankfully they're saying that, yeah, that the supposedly racist remarks he made were not enough to prosecute, but that it would have an effect, which is shocking to me, because I care a lot about free speech. But hey, at least we know with this that free speech doesn't exist in the UK. So there's some good news to interest some bad news, and he seems to be rather lucky that this made its way out, and I'm glad that he's a free man, even if he did commit the crime, because in my mind it shouldn't be a crime. But anyway, let me know what you think below. Is this, did he buy somebody out? Is it going to come to light later that this isn't true and then he will be prosecuted later? And do you think it should be an offence in the first place? Always interested to know what you guys have to say. I do read all the comments and I reply to them as soon as I can. And I will see you next time. Have a good evening.